Hello. Trying to get my own little self reminders and whatnot. Think. I was gonna go around 7 hearts. The ghost of 7 hearts. No. Hearts. And hopefully I can get through this with having internet issues. So we shall see. All right. The other story. Lydia, the Phantom. Hitch. And alright. I think I got all this 3 stories I'm gonna try to read about. Carolina. Of course, the website I am can't get no closer. Alright. See how far we can get through. Okay. see what we can do. And of course, the website I'm using pretty much reading from is northcarolinaghost.com, and remember has different sections of North Carolina, from the coast to Piedmont, mountains, and then it has a folk legend section as well. All right. Welcome to Ghost Stories with CoastalWater. Hope you will enjoy some of these stories. All right. Stories from the North Carolina Piedmont. The central the central North Carolina Piedmont has more than its share of ghost stories, hauntings, and legends. We have a place where the devil walks at night, and the rock where he left his footprints along. There's haunted houses, haunted woods, and even a haunted highway. We have vampire beasts and a little red men. If you're looking for a good scare, a good story, or somewhere to go and see if you can see a ghost, pick a story from the NC Piedmont and enjoy. And there's, like I said, like previous, there's plenty of stories. You can go back if you like to either read over or find different ones. There's the Devil's Tramping Ground. Then you have Crybaby Lane, the Little Red Men. We have the Beasts of Bladenboro. You have the Yogi Bear Graveyard. So you have many different other stories than the ones I'm going to talk about tonight. And with the first one is the Ghost of Seven Hearths. Alright. Alright, the Ghost of Seven Hearths is a beautiful historic home located on King Street in the historic district of Hillsborough. The house dates from sometime in the earlier half of the 18th century. The site was originally built as a tavern. Williams Reed's Ordinary. This tavern distilled and served spirits from the public from colonial times into the early days of the Republic. The tavern shut down sometime before the beginning of the 19th century, when the home became a private residence and began being called Seven Hearths. Sorry. Alright. According to legend, it was also sometime in the 19th century that the house acquired its first ghost. According to a family tradition, the ghost of a girl named Jane Haynes haunts the property. Excuse me. The Haynes, how comes it? Hayes family lived in the home from the early 19th century into the middle of the 20th. Jane was a beloved daughter who died of consumption in the home in 1854. She was only 16. Ever since then, residents in the house have reported seeing the transparent figure of a girl with long flowing blonde hair, wearing a wispy nightgown, wandering from room to room. Passersby on the street have also reported the figure of a young girl staring out of upstairs window. Yeah, the second ghost is a much more odd apparition. Yeah. Said to be another member of the Hayes family. This one is Dr. William Hayes, who practiced out of the building in the 1920s. William Hayes was a devout spiritualist who believed that humans are reincarnated as animals after death. Hayes seemed to have gotten halfway there, as his spirit has been seen roaming the halls of Seven Hearths in the form of a large tabby cat with a human head. Okay. When they sold the house, the Hayes family let the new owners know about the ghosts, both of the aspirations. Both spirits. There we go. Kept appearing occasionally to the residents for decades and came to be thought of a member, slightly odd, extended family. So you have extended family if you live in this home. Interesting to know. Seven Hearths has recently changed hands again, and the new owners have a lovely restored the exterior of the home to something closer to what it looked like when it was William Reed's ordinary, while the new owners haven't yet whether or not they've seen the ghost. But they have done a wonderful job capturing the spirit of its historic original form. What the home what this building once was. So that is the story of the ghost of Seven Hearth. All right. The next one, I'm trying to take my time reading these. Oh, so make sure I spell It is the Hates. Hayes. Welcome in. I'm see if I can get through at least two more. I'm sure y'all were hearing it. Dealing with congestion and all that fun stuff, weather back and forth. It's not been pleasant. But I had set out to do these ghost stories or for this month, and I want to stick with it. So the next one is Lydia. Mercy. All right. Alright, actually. Lydia, the Phantom Hitchhiker. On certain rainy nights where US 70, a twist around a sweeping curve that passes by an overgrown underpass. Drivers will see a young woman in a white evening dress standing by the side of the road. Hey, Avid. They'll see a young woman in a white evening dress standing by the side of the road. She will be desperately trying to flag down any passing car. If anyone pulls over to help the young lady, she climbs meekly in the back seat of the car and says her name is Lydia. She will tell the driver that, and she'll tell the driver that she's been to a dance, but she is trying to get home. She gives the driver an address not too far away, and they kindly agree to take her there. The driver may try to engage Lydia in a conversation, but she seems distracted in a world of her own, so she just leaves and they'll just leave her in a respectful silence and concentrates on the road ahead. So when the car pulls into that address given, the driver will hop out and help with the door, only to discover she has vanished. Perplexed, they'll go to the door of the house and ring the bell, and an old woman will answer. The man explains he had picked up a young lady named Lydia by the overpass who asked to be brought to this address, but she's no longer in the car. He would wonder if she would have run out before he could help open the door. But he just wanted to make sure she was safe and everything it should be. Explaining to the woman with a faint smile passes over the woman's face as she reaches for a picture in a silver frame sitting on a table by the door. The photograph is of the young woman, the man who drove home. Lydia was my daughter, the old woman said. She died in a car wreck by the overpass in 1923. She is not the first one, and I suppose you won't be the last. Ever so often her spirit flags down a passing driver. I suppose she still hasn't understand what has happened to her, and I suppose she's still trying to get home. That's why the overgrown underpass near Jamestown is called Lydia's Bridge. Drive past it on a rainy night and you may see Lydia too. And just in case if you would like to go, Lydia's Bridge is on US 70A, or known as High Point Road, just south of Jamestown. Alright, so from I-85 south, Highway 70, that's exit 118, which is also Business 70. So if you understand all that, road. Alright, from the road, you'll first take an exit and you'll come to the town of Jamestown. You need to turn right at the top of the exit of Vickery Chapel Road, and about a half mile you will take another left, and then you'll find you'll come to High Point Road. Then you'll take a left, and then you'll come across the underpass near the Welcome to Jamestown sign. But nothing else, you can look this up if you ever want to come and check out the underpass. Struggle for real. Alright. North Carolina. Linda. Linda. It's Lydia. I don't know if you want to pinch Lydia. Alright. Alright. And since this was named, or the story this is called Mermaid Point, I thought this will be a fitting one to read. Okay. Alright. Chatham County. Chatham. I do that so y'all can. Chatham County sits in the heart of North Carolina, Piedmont, and over 100 miles from the ocean. So it's not the first place you would go to expecting to see mermaids. But according to one old North Carolina legend, Chatham County was just the place to see them. This is part of the Cape Fear River system. Mermaid Point is the name of the spot southeastern in Chatham County, where the Deep and Hall rivers meet. So we have Deep River and Hall River. These are two rivers. They meet to form the Cape Fear River. From Mermaid Point, the Cape Fear flows through eastern North Carolina down to Wilmington, where it broadens and finally joins the sea near Ballhead Island, at the place from which the river diverts its name, Cape Fear itself. So it will come out at Ballhead Island. So if y'all are interested in looking this up on the map about where this, how far it will be from, quotes, like ocean, water, and then the city, Wilmington, one of the towns. Cape Fear itself, the name came from the 16th century explorers Richard Granville and John White, both whom nearly wrecked their ships when navigating the Cape Fear. The Cape Fear River was one of the early economic drivers of North Carolina. It provided transportation from the Piedmont down to the port of Wilmington. Although going all the way down the river required passing through series of dangerous falls and rapids, the river was once teeming with Atlantic sturgeon, a strange-looking ancient species of fish that spends most of its time in the ocean, but like salmon, travels into fresh water to spawn. The sturgeon's eggs are highly prized as caviar, but it was hunted near extinction in the 19th century. With all the potential for money to be made, the banks of Cape River became draw for settlers. Oh Lord, no, here we go. And I'm not sure if anyone's ever read or listened to, I believe, Outlander. Yeah, that's the one. Um, Wilmington is a location that was mentioned in that series. And here we go. Speaking of settlers, in 1744, Scotsmen from Algon, I'm going to butcher all this, Algonshire, Duncan Campbell, James, yep, we're going to say 4 Scotsmen, okay? Just, let's see, Duncan, James, Hector, and Neil. We go with that. Yeah, I will tear those names up. Purchased several large tracts of land in the area where the Hall and Deep rivers merged into the Cape Fear to form a town named Lockville. Wonder why. So we have a town of Lockville. Then soon they planted to joined by a man named Ambrose Ramsay to calculate that if money was to be made, that it means money to be spent. He was pretty sure he knew one best way for this to happen, so he opened a tavern. Go figure. Ramsay's Tavern sat right by the banks of the Deep River, a short distance upstream from where it joined with the Hall, which when people left the tavern at the end of the night with let's see, when he left the tavern at the end of the night. Okay. So of course when they were leaving and how um, on the pathway home and in the middle of a broad channel was a long white sandbar. And I'm pretty sure if you have a river system and you know where it's either a drought or whatever, but the water's down to where you can see parts of the bottom or like that sandbar. It was this channel that people said they saw the mermaids. Go figure. Okay, we already have Ramsey Tavern and how, yeah, I knew, and yeah. They said that the mermaids would sit on the sandbar at night, combing their long hair in the moonlight. People walking home from the tavern would see them laughing, singing, playing, and splashing in the water. They would dive below the surface if anyone should call them out or try to approach. Go figure. Mermaids are thought to be creatures of the sea. So why are they here, so far inland? The explanation came forth that everyone knew mermaids were vain creatures. They swam up from the coast to wash the salt from their hair so it would be more shiny and beautiful. It's from this gathering that the area became to be known as Mermaid Point. Of course, it may seem something that people always seem to see mermaids on the way home from the tavern and never on the way to the tavern. Yeah, it's always when they're leaving the tavern. Do we need to comprehend that part? But the town of Lockville failed to thrive, and eventually what business was there was taken up by the nearby towns of Hallwood, Haywood, and Moncure. These two nearby towns took what Lockville was. They kind of took over. Ambrose Ramsay's Tavern stood until the late 19th century, when it was destroyed by a flood, and this was about the same time the sightings of the mermaids stopped. It's noted that the disappearance of the mermaids seemed to reconcile with the building of the first series of dams and locks along the course of the Cape River, perhaps cutting the path of the mermaids up the sea. As for the mermaids, drawing sandbar sadly is no longer visible. The construction of Buckhorn Dam raises the water level in the area, and the sandbar sinks beneath the surface. And I kind of vouch that yes, there's now a dam and series of dams in those part of the river. So now nothing can really kind of quote swim upstream in a sense. But that is the story of Mermaid Point. Hi, Cheever. Welcome. I just been telling ghost stories. Or trying to get through some ghost stories. And our from our state. Of course, we just got finished talking about in Chatham County with the Cape River system area about Mermaid Point. And in Jamestown, there's the Phantom Hitchhiker, Lydia. And in Hillsborough, you have the ghost of Seven Hearths. Hey, Grey Wolf. Oh, thank you for coming in. Seriously. Where did you? Hope you're finding these interesting and doing my best not to butcher too much of the story. Hopefully you can get through. Halifax. Ah, huh. Interesting. Okay. I might read one more. Um, okay. I think we might do this last one. Or maybe last one. Um, the Yogi Bear Graveyard. Yeah, like I said, these are interesting stories and things became of stories. I'm pretty sure maybe y'all have heard that North Carolina has its own what do we call it, Wizard of Oz place that they had just recently reopened. It had been closed for a good while. So let's read this story called the Yogi Bear Graveyard. And of course, all these stories have been put together. The website is North Carolina Ghost with an S on the end .com, and it tells you it has from the coast, Piedmont, the mountains, and then they have a section with folklore and um, folklore magic. So, and of course, each one has a lot of good stories if you like to go back and read on your own. Because last Friday we did the coast, and if I'm able, next Friday we'll go through a few stories from the mountain area. All right, the Yogi Bear Graveyard, a strange, sad, and beautiful place that has slipped into legends of North Carolina once existed off of I-95 near Halifax. So, this story is Yogi Bear Grave. First, this is the story, and we are in town Halifax, and we are in or near Halifax. If y'all are interested in know like how where these places are near, if you want to come check them out. So we are in or near Halifax. The Yogi Bear Graveyard was field, a field, so it's like an open field with fiberglass statues of Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, and Cindy Bear, and even the ever vigilant Ranger Smith had been there to slowly fall apart beside an abandoned truck stop. Hey, Leon. So we have a field filled with fiberglass statues of Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, Cindy Bear, and Ranger Smith. And of course, they've just been abandoned. the uh, the site attracts many visitors who would climb over the chain link fence that surrounded to become known as, of course, chain link fence, and this is now it's been known as the Yogi Bear graveyard. To wander among the good, nice job, Grey Wolf. They will wonder the fading statues. The story of how they got there is a tale of a tradition of a family road trips and different time in the story of in North Carolina. So now we're gonna figure out how they got there. The statues were originally from the Bear Yogi Bear Honey Fried Chicken chain of restaurants. Okay, so Yogi Bear Honey Fried Chicken. It's a restaurant that was spread across the South. See, I didn't not know any of that. Okay. See, I'm learning something here. Okay. The restaurants were spread across the Southeast from the 60s through the 70s. The statues stood outside the restaurant, hoping to attract the attention of children and passing cars that would be excited enough to pursue their parents for the first time to pull over on the road and the Yogi Bear Honey Chicken Fried was exactly what they were in the mood to eat. The statues were produced by the franchise American Fiberglass, once the king of roadside statues and signs, resembling many of Sunny Big Boy statues. Giant muffin Sinclair dinosaurs that once decorated American highways. The Honey Fried Chicken franchise gradually shut down, but the statues from these stores were brought up by the owner of another Yogi Bear themed business, a Jellystone Park campground located in Halifax. Now, I know about Jellystone Park campgrounds. I've been to the one in Cherokee many times, but yeah. So I know about the Yogi Bear themed campground because I've seen some of these statues there. But I did not know or was not aware that it had came from a chicken restaurant. Or kind of interesting. The statues graced the campground and its miniature golf course until that business too met its end. Because another one in Cherokee is still open. When the campground closed, the statues were left in a field beside the Lakewood truck stop, which was at one time the largest truck stop along American East Coast. But eventually that truck stop also closed, and all that was left was the sad spectacle of memories for family road trips lying exposed to the wind and the rain. but fitting enough with its original and multiple fashion tourist attraction. The field of abandoned statues eventually became a tourist attraction itself. As word spread of this strange spectacle, road trippers from across the state and beyond would seek out this field for a chance to see the sadly beautiful spectacle and connect with memories of a time when family road trips took longer and when the road held promise and excitement, and when business owners went all out to make sure theirs were one of the places on the road from New York to Florida that everyone had to stop. Mm. Even though even that too has vanished, the land that the Lakewood truck stop stood on was bought by new owners in 2008. The statues removed, and now the sleek, beautiful mid-century modern of Lakewood building fell to the wrecking ball. Oh. But there's still a chance to connect to parts. Alright. But there's still a chance to connect to part of North Carolina's past. Several of the statues were rescued and now stand outside a private residence in Rocky Mount. Yeah, because that's where we all want to go. And we're not going to call what we normally call it backlash. That's not nice. There is also one. Let's see. There's also one Yogi Bear fried chicken restaurant still in operation in Hartsville, South Carolina. And even though they don't have the statues, they do have the beautiful vintage Yogi Bear signs and chicken that was so good it literally is worth a trip from anywhere from North Carolina. So, if you want to go to Hearts, yeah, make sure I spell this right. If some reason y'all would like to go visit, but of course this is in South Carolina now, and it's Yogi Bear's Honey Fried Chicken. And it's the last remaining restaurant, but it does not have the statues, unfortunately. There is also hope for rebirth for Yogi and Company. When American Fiberglass closed, many of its molds, including the ones for Yogi Bear Honey Fried Chicken, were bought by the company located in Bladenboro. So, wonderful statue that was joyful of the past history along American roadsides made right here in North Carolina. So, maybe it will come back. Yeah. All right. And there's Huh. Not to say you have to, but if you do go to their website, and if I can show, I can show it. You might can see. You have stickers. So few of the stories have like their own sticker. You definitely have Lydia's Bridge and the Devil's Tramping Ground. Gotta say that very carefully. Gotta say that one careful. All right. And under this kind of, I'm looking into the North Carolina folk magic. It's this what is folk magic? It's things simply unknowing. A magic is dealing with the unknownable. Or it's like carrying a rabbit's foot. I don't know if anyone's ever done that for luck. Then you have all your other little where you knock on wood to prevent something bad from happening, or not saying you had to participate in that. I'm just kind of because there's a fine line of participating and just getting an understanding of something. So yeah, I'm kind of not wanting to step across a boundary. So all those things, if you like to read them on your own, go for it. Let's see. Of course, and then next Friday, we'll definitely do a lot from, well, not a lot, but a few from the mountain areas of North Carolina. And definitely be, of course, like the ghost of the Biltmore House. Definitely one. So we have some pretty cool stories coming from that way. No, can't be outdoor. She's hurting. So, is anything anybody would like to talk about besides the fact it is the date is supposed it is? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because if not, find the Biltmore ghosts. Of course, there's several in Raleigh and Winston-Salem. Mm. Yeah, Christmas at Biltmore would be cool. Hmm. That's something you might can do, Atlash. That would be a interesting. Hmm. I'll go with social media. Yeah, that would be a very interesting. Avid, John Parker, and Kelly. Go camp out. Hmm. Hmm. Well, with that, I call it, and hopefully we can meet again next Friday and do some more stories. Because of all this is getting, it's irritating me, so I'm pretty sure it might be irritating others. Alrighty, everyone. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Thank you all for joining me tonight on Ghost Stories. I will go ahead and set up the next one for next Friday. And of course, we'll be in the mountains of North Carolina, so that will be fun. And hopefully highlight some areas and cities along the mountain area. And like when I mentioned about the graveyard of the Yogi Bear, there's and Cherokee is in the mountain part of North Carolina. So that's where that's located. But anyways, thank you all again for coming along and joining. Hopefully you're finding this fun and interesting and learning, because apparently I just learned about Yogi Bear graveyard. Some of these I trying to go ahead and kind of skim through, but that one I have not. So there we go. We all will learn something. And that hopefully try to remember next time, like to put in the names of the area, name of the story. Hopefully we can kind of, if you want to know where things are, you've got something you can reference back to, or you go to the website and it will give you all the information that you might need. But hey Cindy, welcome. We were just been talking ghost stories. Unless somebody wants to come up, that's the only. I don't know what else to talk about. As usual, right? Got that there. If anyone would like to pop up for a few minutes, that's good, fine, great. If not, hopefully we can sleep in, maybe, we'll see. Don't know. All right. Well, Thank you all for scratching P. It's supposed to be fishing in the morning.
Well, I guess it's a good thing it's me and not some weirdo.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't do that.
People have been stealing my avatar and doing that thing all over the place all the time. That's the reason why I changed it again. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I've been listening to your ghost stories and working on projects.
Thank you. How you been doing?
Ah, busy as a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest.
Hmm. Been there doing that.
I just got one question to ask you.
Uh huh.
Has your husband lost his ever-loving mind with
I
some of
don't
the
know.
stuff you be putting up on Facebook? National Get Your Husband Whatever Day. Man, you trying to get me in trouble.
Of course. But it's always what you want to get your wife every day. Days.
Yep, yep. And of course, Texans down under seen that, and she was like, "You're not paying attention to that, are you?" And I'm like, "Did you not pay attention to what I put up there?" And she was like, "Oh, okay."
No, we're all slowly losing our mind. What are you talking about?
You know what, Backlash? You are correct. You have no mind. You never listen to anybody. They tell yeah, Coastal tells you not to do something, and you do it anyway. And I'm just
uh,
picking.
I don't know. He definitely helped today, or saved today. Cause again, if the car does not get fixed, I'm gonna roll it down the hill on fire. Yeah, my car cut off on me again. That was
What?
fun. That was so fun and exciting.
Backlash, you need to take that car fishing.
Need to something. Maybe give it a good backlash. Maybe it'll.
And as you're pulling up to the boat ramp, be like, the brakes didn't work. I pulled the emergency brake. I just jumped. I bailed.
Something. Well, then I got to think about it is Friday the 13th.
It is.
I'm like, yay.
But yep.
I need a good chiropractor. I just need every bone in my body just to be snapped a good time, couple good times.
Mm.
I found her a sweet Hyundai. Hyundai minivan today.
Backlash, stay away from the Hondas. What are you driving now?
A Hyundai.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Stay away from the Hondas, whatever.
Hmm.
And a minivan, those are like for little old ladies. But they do work pretty good for fishing mobiles because you can put all your stuff back in there.
Uh, oh yeah, get a good van. There's a lot of stuff in that sugar.
Yeah. I used to have an old Dodge van that I literally took all the seats out of except for the front two,
Hmm.
and you could fit a boat in that joker.
I'll take the Dodge. No problem with that whatsoever.
I could see Backlash sporting a little neon minivan. We could all chip in together and buy some pink some of that neon pink and spray paint it neon pink.
No, um, just outside town before they end up building a house. He pretty much like I guess like a second brother. Him and my brother grew up together. So in the wooded area, they made a makeshift paintball um, field type thing course,
Mm.
and then of course us and different ones got involved in playing whatever, and then they was like, well, we need to get some of this stuff on film. Okay, who's gonna volunteer to stand out in the middle? Well, not out in the middle, but in the field so they can film everybody, everything
Backlash.
going on. And of course, you know, I volunteered for a little bit of it. My dad helped with it a little bit, and at this time I had a black Dodge Neon. Now that car, they need to bring that car back. I treat that thing like a little truck most days. But and and I was parked where everybody else was parked, but why was my black car painted with pink dots on the side? Little paintball dots.
This was before Backlash was known.
Yes.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm like, really? Of all the
well,
vehicles, why did mine get tagged?
and what's funny is you talk about we're talking about. I remember when I was younger, they didn't have the stuff that they have now. You know, on paintball guns, they have GoPro mounts that'll clip right onto a paintball gun.
No.
Back in the day, when I was growing up doing paintball and stuff like that, we never, you had a camera, you had to carry that joker and shoot at the same time.
Oh, this is like a handheld camera. We had did he have like duck and weave and my dad was did make some like little areas with fiberglass around so you won't at least I won't get hit too many times. So you just
But
gotta go out.
Backlash. Whenever I get up there in North Carolina, we're gonna have some paintball wars. I'll even let you use your drone, but I can't promise I won't take it out.
Yeah, I haven't done that in God knows forever. That would be fun.
Me and Clyde against Backlash and Mr. John Parker. I think that would end up everybody would just be shooting at Backlash, or even better, me and Coastal against Backlash and Clyde. I don't think anybody would be brave enough to shoot you, Coastal, with paint. with paintballs.
That would be fun. I, I don't know if I've talked since y'all been back from the trip, but all that looked really beautiful and fun and exciting and yeah.
Yeah, everybody was bundled up like it was 40 below, and I'm out there in t-shirt and shorts, and I'm loving life. It felt
Yeah.
awesome. But it was weird because, like, last night, Coyote was up on someone's panel, and he was over at the deer camp,
Mhm.
and it looked like everything was frozen. It looked like it had a layer of ice on it, and I'm standing outside, and I'm like, it's flipping almost 90 degrees. I would take some of that ice in a heartbeat.
John Parker would be quiet long enough to play. Mhm.
Why do you think I picked him? I didn't know where he was at.
Mhm. If he
I,
don't
I
tell
could
you,
I could see it, I could see Miss Dana sitting over on the sidelines. Well, I know where he's at. He's over there, big man. He's over there. Shoot.
exactly right. Sell him out quick. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we had fun, and uh, you know, his daughter basically said, "Hey, you're part of the family. You're sitting over here right beside my parents."
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, but I had the hardest job. Anita says she had the hardest job. I was like, all you had to do is be there. I had the hard job. Do you realize how hard it is to keep Coyote from howling
No, I
and to
wouldn't.
keep him in line and try to that's like a full time job. I worked like 90 hours in 2 days, and I know he's
Um,
sitting in the background. I know he is,
you gotta keep him focused on the task.
and I did good all the way up until right there. As we were leaving the wedding, he didn't even make it to the parking lot, and he started howling. He was like, "I've been trying to get that out for a week." But no, if y'all ever get a chance to go up there, I feel
Mhm.
sorry for Coyote's wife because she's got to deal with him all the time. She's a sweet, wonderful lady. His whole family is. I don't know where he got it from.
Hmm.
But then again, backlash. If I was you and you made it up to Washington and you get to meet Miss K, stay far away because she literally loves to whack troublemakers with kendo sticks.
Oh. Oh wow. Killer stick. All right.
Well, see,
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
go, you could fly straight across almost to Washington, and then get a rental and go down to Earl. And there's a few people between Seattle and Earl that do YouTube, like Backroads Hillbillies.
Mhm.
Um, and then Reef Robber. There's three of them right there in Oregon, um, three or four. And then if you're that close, you might as well have Jeffrey Allen come up to the county line, so to speak, because we none of us want to go into California.
Mm.
But you know, uh, and then you know, fly from there to Texas, hang out with me, and then fly from Texas back home.
Oh,
If
Lord
any of us
Jesus.
ever won the lottery, we would have a blast.
Mm. Oh yeah.
But just so y'all know, if it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna go to Kentucky. I'm gonna go to Missouri, and I'm gonna make my way up there to North Carolina, even if it's just to kick backlash in the butt for backlashing all the time.
we
We are going to Houston soon. Well, well, come
Yeah,
on.
he has family in Houston. I would say I had family in that area, but they've moved since then.
Well, you
But
do have family in this area. It's
yeah,
me.
I know y'all, but yeah. I usually say blood family, but they've recently moved.
In
But
backlash, just to let you know, if you'd have seen the bass that I caught today, uh,
yeah.
I would have made all of y'all jealous. I made myself jealous. I caught on a worm, a plastic worm, a 9 pound something 14, 13 or 14 ounce largemouth bass
Cool.
on a worm,
Hmm.
and I couldn't video any of it.
It's a short video.
No, I just went because we've been dealing with some stuff here, and I just needed to get my head cleared.
Hmm.
And so I didn't even take my phone out of the car. I was like, I just was trying to clear my head.
Hmm.
And don't tell Clyde, but I do have a picture of it. I might
Hmm.
send it to you, maybe. I know. I'm thinking about doing the same thing tomorrow so I can, get to the midway point.
Hmm. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that just to
Yeah.
clear your head.
Supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, backlash, just be glad I'm not there to fish with y'all because I'd probably just chunk you in the water just for the viral video.
Now I have a family reunion tomorrow. And just 'cause it's in the rain, we have buildings these days.
Well, that's okay. Do you really want backlash hanging around your family? I mean,
Oh, then what's it? Oh no, that's Sunday. We have homecoming at church, and Miranda has one of her pre-K classmates' birthday Sunday. I'm like, come on, weekend, stop. Yeah,
but
family.
I am really curious how many of my kids are going to have nightmares tonight. It's Friday the 13th. So you know that marathon with especially with Halloween coming up real soon.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, they had that marathon of all the Friday the 13th movies, and my daughter was like, "I wish we could watch that," and I was like, "Me being dad, I'm like, well, y'all are old enough now. Go ahead, y'all can watch it. If your mom says anything to you, just tell her no. Dad said we could watch it." But here's the kicker: they're not home tonight. I ain't got to deal with them.
Oh.
Well, backlash. That's because they don't know what you're going to break next.
I'm sleepy, but I'm not sleepy. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I need to go to bed, but then I would just lay there and just lay there. And
Yeah.
now this congestion mess is not helping me
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No, it's not.
I need caffeine.
Backlash. How can you have a headache? You are the headache. Come on now. I'm I'm just teasing you. Don't take me serious. Yes, you are. So does little Miss Panda love her hat?
She does.
Well, that's good.
Mm, yeah, we just used it a couple days ago. No, wait. Actually, yeah, it's been used many times. Bless
And backlash. I did see your comment earlier. You want to go camping with John Parker, an avid fisherman, and yeah, are you crazy?
And Kelly Blair, I call him Kelly Blair, but Kelly Bullet.
I mean, Mr. John Parker would stink you out the tent, and Avid would club you over the head with a log just to say Bigfoot got you, and then he'd probably hang you upside down by your toes outside from the tree. I mean,
He wrote and said that would be a good story.
but yeah, ha ha, funny. Yeah, it would be. That would be a very interesting video too. Now, what would be hilarious to have Mr. John Parker videoing avid tormenting Backlash.
Or
Yes, you would.
they'll be like, "What in the world are y'all doing?" It happens when you can't fish worth a lick. This is what happens. You go hunting Bigfoot. John Parker being in a deer stand fishing for Bigfoot. Kelly would sound like a Blair
The,
Witch Project.
the only thing that would make it even funnier than that is if you had Coyote Witch running around in the woods.
Oh god.
And
Okay,
you could
reading
take
this movie
everybody's
is starting
video,
to. This could be an interesting movie.
eh, take everybody's video and just put it all together and let it unfold.
This is what happens when you get this group of people together. Who will survive?
Who's gonna bust a gut laughing first?
Yeah. Everybody watching? Oh my god. This would be hilarious.
Yep. And here's the catch. Me, Coastal Water, and Bearded Eagle is going to be spread out through the woods filming all of y'all at the same time.
Then we had Big Mac cake come over. Okay.
No, not Big Matt. Mm-mm. Big Matt ain't gonna make nothing go viral. I scared too many people, and I still can't believe Coyote filmed me meeting Luke for the first time.
And throw rustic in there.
No, Rustic wouldn't be able to stop laughing.
Oh, mercy. Mm. You see what happened was these YouTube creators got together and thought going camping together would be fun. They said.
I found, I found Bigfoot. Never mind, it's just Big Matt. Hey, where's Avid at? Me and Avid together up there. We could play catch with Backlash.
What they thought was Bigfoot. Dun dun dun.
Which Bigfoot wins, the Texas Bigfoot or the Ohio Bigfoot?
Uh, which Bigfoot will survive? Okay. Oh yeah, it'd be a whole different meaning of mountain monster.
Yeah.
All right. Hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
That was fun. Alrighty.
Are you fixing to call it a night?
I might.
You might.
I might. Like I said, I'm, I'm sleepy, but I'm not sleepy. But I probably need to. As use bearded eagle with bait.
Mm,
mm,
I don't know. I don't think he'd work as bait.
use some moonshine and some bait. No, a bearded eagle would get lost on his own.
That would be funny though. The search party begins for Bearded Eagle.
And that's when we came across this Blair Witch Project. And it ended up with two Bigfoots. Who will survive? An Eagle Scout is not supposed to get lost. Yeah, supposed to is the keyword there.
Well, it's not his fault. He can't get to the top of the tree to see where he's at. And Coyote, if you are in the background, I hope you tag out pretty quick.
Mm. If you ever had, we had to do a zombie apocalypse. Whew. let's, let's do a surviving Bear Grylls type video. Bear Grylls is on a whole nother level of surviving.
Y'all, you do know he's in a mental institution, right?
I did not know that.
I'm just joking. I don't know if he is or isn't.
I know he is on a whole nother
Yeah.
having to brains brain problem.
Shoot. He's already got a full time job praying for all of us. Oh, and I am supposed to let y'all know, Bob, thanks for the reminder. Uh, Bob is out of the hospital. He is doing awesome. He's had a
Okay.
few little hiccups, but he's doing real good.
Good.
Anyways, all right. Well, I'm gonna jump down. I gotta get back to work. So,
Yeah. No. pray in this soon anyway.
All right. Y'all have fun. Bye bye.
Bye. That's fun. Well, so with that, that was a fun little chatting. Alrighty. Thank you all for good stories with me. And next Friday, we'll try to get to the mountain part of North Carolina and a few stories from that part of the state. Alrighty. With that, I'll take care. Do something for yourself. Do something for someone else. And until then, talk to you later. Bye.